Hi friends, I'm Sanjay and I'm happy to share with you one digital pastel painting on iPad Pro, and I'm using Procreate software for that, and my subject is old Rajasthani person. I am using some brush which I am showing here. I have used some other brush also, but I'm not sure which one. So just you may find while I'm working. I'm showing this brush because what brush I'm using and why I'm using and what size I'm using. That is important. This is some brushes. Basically, I use texture brushes. The top one, texture 001. It is a broad brush and small texture. You can see there. And the another one is a little pine. This is also brush. Basically, this is painting brush, but you can get some effect, pastel effects also. And some other brush also I used, which is chalk or smaller detail. This brush is also good for sketching and penciling also. And while working, I used many brushes which I am not aware about it. Spontaneously I am using some brushes, but basically this is the brush I have used for this demo, and I am using all brushes with the different sizes. You can see me changing the brush size occasionally as per my requirement. Keep in mind, this is a digital media, but medium I'm using is pastel. So on white canvas it is very scary to start pastel work for some people maybe, but I have used Canson type of paper which has some sort of not sandy texture, but it is some texture is there. So it is good idea to work on texture surface, so you can convincingly look like pastel work. You may aware why texture paper using for or sand paper using for pastel, because the dry pastel having some sort of grain, and to hold that grain the paper requires some sort of texture which is having some smaller valleys there, so that paint can stick there for that effect. Otherwise the paint won't stay on the surface. That is the why texture is required for the pastel work. I have already started this work. Some artists starting with the underpainting. Underpainting is preparation for this value structure earlier, so there is no any confusion for putting your values. Some are using burnt sienna or burnt umber, sort of single monochromatic colors for the value system. And this is the best way to go bigger to smaller things. Like what I used here, I take a middle tone for skin, which is a warmer tone. You can see that color is there, reddish brownish color is there, basic color. And so when you got some sort of middle tone, against that you can judge the value lighter or darker colors. similar families like warm family or cool family, whatever color required colors. Just I'm taking different warmer tone for the face, and you can see this is a bigger brush right now. And some darker tone I am giving earlier. So why darker tone look like too dark or something, very darker area? Why darker colors are important? Because whatever darker area you are working on, so you can judge by that darkest dark color is there, so lightest light color also there. So you can judge in between values which are presenting on portrait in real life. So see, I'm trying to take different brush size accordingly. This is a, you can say, big cap or big pagdi. In India this is called pagdi. So this is darkest dark value I'm taking. So afterwards I will work on lighter part and darker part again. This is the way it should be. And I'm not only working on heads or face, I'm working on the surface, all areas accordingly. This is only my blocking stage. Just I'm filling some basic colors to work on. And this is a starting point, so I will go from bigger to smaller areas. This is the way generally working nicely. And working in a whole, not one area. I'm going one area to another, so keep me aware about color values and shapes. See my jumping here to there and continuously working. I'm not only working on nose and eyes only. I'm working whole area simultaneously. And I'm looking shapes, big shapes, value, colors, edges, and further on, later on, you can say, I will go for detailing. But this is my starting point. And later stage, when you're finishing stage happening, just check with mirror to see the error or any bad shapes or colors are there to correct that one. Light to dark value range is very important for pastel painting particular. Always think light to dark range of scale. Study your reference, how much dark, how much light area is there, what is the reflection light, how much light is there, and how much highlight is there. Think this way. Just observe your reference, whatever portrait photographs or sitting person or whatever. Now I'm using under the shadow of nose and darker tones for eyes. This is, I think, the darkest dark area on the face. Generally, you can find the darkest area under the nose, eye socket, and upper lip, maybe a little bit, and ears. Ears, deep dark holes are darker than anything. There are some shadow parts like always happening under the nose, under the neck. Neck is deeper shadow. It is not dark as eye socket or under the nose. I'm using darkest dark brown color is there. Brown, purplish, deep brown color. When you're putting down darkest dark color, then you can get excited a little bit because you are creating dynamic range of colors. So it is some sort of it is not fighting, but because of dark light shine or because of light dark shines. Maybe you can say because of dark light shines. And always you are attracting to lighter portion, but because of shadow is dark and you are presenting nicely the shapes of the light. It get interesting visual effect. This is basically I'm putting darkest dark around the beard. Sometimes I'm using big brush to cover the maximum area. Keeping eye on your drawings is very important. If drawing is not correct, definitely it will affect your total portrait scenario. So put maximum time to the perfect drawing. Otherwise you will correct and it will get worst. So good idea from initial stage. Drawing needs to that level. I'm putting some highlights on the head part. Which is called red color is there. So basically it is a red color, deep red color, but I'm using little darker tone here. See this red color, how it is sparkle. This way, slowly, you are inventing some tones and your dynamic range and overall look is slowly changing. This eye is in the dark shadow part. It is in the shadow. And the left eye is his right eye is in the lighter area. Very even. This is very important area to see properly shapes. Dark against light. Here are the valleys and mountains. We can create near the nose area, shadow part. You can see some sort of landscaping there. And while working, I'm not looking at eyes or nose that way. I'm looking as a shape, how it works, how that graphic abstract pattern is there. So I'm concentrating on that. So your shape is right, your drawing will be right. And it will affect whole painting precisely. I'm putting some cool purple color for cooler sensation of the face. There are cooler areas and warmer areas are there. So you have to see properly what is actually there. And you have to squint. Always squint and see the shapes, colors, glimpse of the area. What is there? What color? Lighter, darker, middle tone. And analyze properly, read properly. People only trying to put lighter and darker value your early stage, there are reflected light, core shadows are there, reflected lights are there, highlights are there, and each area, darker family or lighter family, you have to see and put correctly. I'm reaching that stage where I am putting my detailing right now. I have done majority of work, basic tones. I have completed, I think so, and I will work on detailing right now. Using all the time texture brushes. I got different type of brushes from some free brushes I used. I not paid anything for this brush. You can find many brush on the internet. There are some exclusive sites also there for watercolors, for pastel brushes. But whatever brush I am using, it is free brushes. And Procreate has a lot of different variety for line work, calligraphy, sketching, dry media, wet media. Many brushes are there, and you have to experiment with that before you starting anything. And always play with the size, different size and texture. So you will be familiar with the nature of the brush, character, texture, smoothness. So you have to understand this is digital media. It is very flat, glossy surface, and you are trying to create texture on it. So keep in mind, the texture brush is always there. You can see texture all the time. That is your nature for the pastel brush. It is not oil or acrylic or opaque color you are putting. So keep in mind, take always texture brush for work. Just I put some more highlight on the notes. I'm changing the sizes accordingly. This is lightest light part on the face. There are some areas on the eyes, forehead, cheeks, beards. There are some areas where you can see the light area, bright area you can say. The brush is very small, so it is very difficult to find where it's working. But if you really see the area where I'm working, it is a small brush I'm taking, so you have to identify that. In the beard, actually, I used cooler version of the green, purple, blue tones in it. Beard is not white only. There are some reflection lights are there. So you try to see those type of colors. You have to exaggerate a little bit. It is not exactly you are putting color. That is your liberty to put any colors, but it represent well. It should be represent well. That you have to take care of. Sometimes you have to see what is happening, what is going on. You can enlarge, you can, like while painting, you can go further around 15 to 20 feet away and see the values are working or not, colors are working or not, basically shapes working or not. So you have to always, on digital media, you have to reduce the size and make it smaller and see how is going on, what is going on, and what to be done. Now I have taken this bigger brush and I'm feeling some tone in it. This is actually mixer brush. It is like mixing by hand or thumb or fingers sort of work is doing. This is bigger texture brush I'm using. I don't know which brush. Sometime while working, instinctively I'm using some brush, which is you have to see the effect. This is color wheel and some brighter tone I'm putting in the background to shine a little bit, to make it the background should be not dull, some sort of interest should be there. And whatever colors I'm using, it is not isolating. You have to use here and there in the background, in the on the figure, so it can be great relationship with the colors and harmony. If you're isolating some color, it is not good idea. So I try to put same color in beard and background also. little bit here and there, and some beard work is going on, some shapes, some flow of the beard. I hope you are enjoying this. If you really like this, please like and subscribe and give me some comments, and suggest me if you want to see any specific area. Actually, I'm working with the digital media as well as real media, which is watercolor, which I like most. And I like to work all medias. I like sketching also. Human figure sketch. I made many videos for that. Just go and watch my other videos. And experiment with anything. While I'm working digitally, it is actually realistically, it is the same approach. If I'm really working on digital media, real media, like using sandpaper or texture paper, if you are working on grain paper or canson paper or textured paper with real pastel, oil pastel or dry pastel, this is the same way you are working. It is not something else. So keep in mind always, if you did earlier this media on the paper, it is very easy to work on this digital media. A good idea is you can work anywhere, and you can get similar kind of effect. Although it is digital, the real media is very fragile. You have to protect very nicely, but great things for this media. This is digital media, so you can keep your file. You can put on your Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and when I put this image on the internet, it is very hard to recognize it is digital media or real pastel media. So if you know the media, you can get similar kind of effect as original dry media on the paper. I am trying to mix the background as well as the body. My main focus is face, light on face. So I do not want to emphasize the background edges or silhouette of the face or of the portrait. Just I'm trying to put some highlights on because it is lighting is upside. I think this is 100% above his head. It is not 140 or another angle is there. So you can see the lighting and the shadow, how it falls on the other part. This is finishing stage. This is finishing stage. I'm using small brush for the hair or the highlight. Detail. See the hairs are coming right up. This is my last approach, you can say. You cannot go detailing earlier. You have to put all the shadow light area properly. Then it is, you can say, the jewelry work. You can keep at last. His right eyes is more emphasis on his left eyes. Left eye is in the shadow, and his light on his right face is very important for this presentation. Give me some comments and ask me anything if you want. Definitely I would give you proper answer for that. This is like little bit bigger brush I'm using for the mixing of some diffused area. This is not my focus area, so just I'm diffusing this part. See that I experiment with different type of brushes. So for highlighting some beard hair. His mustache and the beard is very prominent also, and it is diffused with the background, but it needs to be sharpen some area. Tap it out. This is the brush I'm using for this detailing. Now this is a final stage I'm reaching right now. This is some small beard hair I'm putting. Just you saw I am putting some bigger strokes earlier, bigger texture strokes like actual pastel, dry pastel strokes, and later on I'm diffusing by hand, some sort of diffuser I used. Hope you like this pastel work, and happy painting. Keep writing. Hope you are subscribing me. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy painting.